Is open. Is everyone?
I sure am.
Oh, it hurts so bad.
The pain means it's working.
I'm well fucking aware, but my stomach's gonna come out and gut punch my other stomach. I have two of them.
Oh, you're half a cow.
Shut the. Who will let me?
Okay. Is everybody ready?
I
Mhm.
sure am.
Okay. So, last time you all traveled back from the now double wreck of the Freya, uh, during which time you had some run-ins with the various wildlife down here, including many a lot of crab, as well as what the fuck is going on with my headphones?
Spit them out.
There sure is a lot of static.
Oh, wait, you're hearing that too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is that coming from?
I don't hear any static. Is it me?
And stop now.
Well, something changed as soon as
Strange.
Cassie brought it up.
It's afraid of her.
Good.
Yes, you ran into almost the highest possible roll of the amount of crabs. And then you ran into a baby horrible monster creature thing. And it tried to eat Simon.
And very nearly succeeded.
Yes. Uh During your travels, the Triton cleric woman who requested that you sort of think about what you tell them, as it might cause a certain amount of xenophobia within the Triton society. Uh, but she said she will corroborate anything you tell them so long as it's not like fucking stupid.
We are still pretty haggard looking, right? I imagine
Oh,
most of the injuries obviously are healed, but we still look all kinds of fucked up.
yeah, like any thing that happened to your clothes or anything, you're definitely like slightly exhausted from the whole thing, but you're always slightly exhausted.
So
That's
here's
Remember
kind of
that.
been your modus operandi ever since you got your boat blowed up and you sunk to the bottom of the ocean, and now you're stuck here.
my the story I was gonna go with when we went to spin our yarn was going to be, hey, listen, we got there basically just in time to be attacked by some crazy person in a suit of extremely high-tech magical armor and a pirate simultaneously, and we had to run, and now the ship is completely destroyed. Which isn't a lie. All of that stuff happened. We're just leaving out the juicy bits.
I think you should mention the crabs. Because we do have a lot of crab meat. We could say there was
Oh,
an
yeah.
extensive amount of large crab.
Well, the crabs are on the way. We got on the way back, and I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but if we're already lying, might as well just take it the full way.
But
Lie about the crab.
that's the
Yeah.
beauty of it. We weren't. My idea wasn't to lie. It was to leave out certain parts of the truth that we are telling. Like all of that stuff that I just said happened. We were bamboozled by a pirate and assaulted by a lunatic wearing armor who came for Simon's head, which obviously I'm leaving that part out. And upon our escape, the aqueduct collapsed, crushing the ship. That's all true. We're just leaving out the part where the priestess turned out to be a psycho.
Worked for me.
I relay that exactly everything I just said to the cleric lady who's been with us.
She's like, right, that's fine, but is there a reason why I would be saved and my companions wouldn't be? I suppose I can think of a not-so-white lie for that, if needed.
You can just say that they asked you to watch guard or something.
True.
Like you said, you weren't aware of what was on, so maybe they needed to be separate.
I had a thought about that too, so as not to perpetuate any sort of genuine lie. We did ask you to hold up the aqueduct for us, because the archway was eroding with the ocean. And if you tell her that that's what you were doing, you were holding the aqueduct open, and suddenly the archway collapsed, and the aqueduct along with it, it falls right in line with our story.
I see. Well then, I think we have things squared away. I'll allow you to lead the conversation.
Splendid. Off to the chapel, as it were.
Alrighty. So yes, you walk back into Whimsburg. Things seem to be pretty business as usual. You go to that central sort of like bazaar and market area, which has like the inn, the chapel, and like the sort of political center, Whimsburg. And you just kind of walk up to the still closed big old chapel doors.
I give it a big hefty knock.
Alright, you knock on the door. As always, it takes a couple of moments before you see this Brighton priest man kind of open up the door enough so that he can like see you and kind of put himself in between you and the like actual chapel itself. And he's like, "Oh, you return. Only good news, I hope."
Well, good and bad, really. The good news is that there won't be a ghost ship because there is no ship left. Now, the bad news, unfortunately, is that your head priestess was crushed in an unavoidable accident. On our way through the ship to find her and help her complete the ritual, we were accosted by what was his name? The Dread Pirate Regis?
Yes.
We were accosted by the Dread Pirate Regis and then very suddenly attacked by a lunatic in a sort of magical, arcane technology armor. The aqueduct had collapsed, destroying the ship, and we barely got out of there with our lives. We did, however, managed to bring this young lady with us.
He,
She alone
oh,
was saved. She alone was spared the crushing pressure of the ocean.
Alright, yeah, he, kind of seems flabbergasted and looks at, her, and he's like, Marlene, is this true? And she just kind of, like, solemnly nods. Go and give me a persuasion check at advantage.
Persuasion with advantage. Oh, fantastic. If I use a luck point, is it still with advantage?
You re-roll one of the dice.
Okay. Not much better, but...
Alright. Yeah, he has no real reason to distrust you, and somebody else is corroborating the information. So, he seems to be in denial more as, like, grief denial than, you're bullshitting me denial. And you see him just kind of, like, sit there with, like, his fingers on one hand on his eyes, like, trying to mull over the information you told him before. He's like, I see, this is... Oh, how cool the ocean can be. We will seek time for memorial, and then we'll have to see to assigning a new head of the church here.
It was good of you to allow a drow into your clergy. One would think that somebody so ill-equipped to handle massive, crushing ocean pressure was kind enough to your people to warrant such an invitation. I dare say she will be missed.
Yes, Head Priestess Brita was as much of an ambassador as she was part of the clergy here. I don't know how the drow will feel about this themselves, but I suppose that is not up to me to decide. I request that you speak with the High Council. I will send word that you should speak to them, tell them about these events. They may wish for you as witnesses to help them either corroborate the information or seek out suggestions from you.
Of course. Where would this council building be?
He literally just kind of like takes a step out and he points to another rather large, fancy set of doors.
Oh. Well, okay.
But it'll take some time, so I recommend you
Yeah, we'll
recuperate.
absolutely.
And I'll speak to Marlene here to get some more information.
I suppose my compatriots and I will stay at your inn until we are summoned.
Yes, I'm afraid this will possibly put the church in dire straits, so I cannot offer you much of a reward, but I will at least pay for your time here.
Well, thank you very much.
And he just kind of bows and he like ushers Merlene in and closes the doors once again. You know that you await summons to the High Council, but for now, you have time to do whatever you want around the city.
Was Gang with me while I was talking?
Yeah.
Just wanted to be sure. Nobody cut in or anything, and in my brain I was picturing me there by myself.
Should we be concerned that he made off with the clergy?
Well,
Check.
there's nothing really we can do about it. Every time we approach the door, he seems apprehensive, to say the least, about allowing outsiders past him. We only managed to get in there once. I feel like I have been too trusting, and therefore we should have some sort of contingency should she turn coat.
That is why I
Just
placed a
platinum
bomb on
rings.
her.
Where is Platinum through all this?
Platinum is just kind of with you. You see that they've not really been paying too much to that conversation. They've just kind of been looking over the sort of market space. That seems to be more what they're interested in.
Is anybody giving us weird looks for, like, having a robot with us, essentially?
Well, they're not a robot. They're a sentient humanoid lump of literal platinum, like solid through and through, no circuitry, no
Right.
gears.
I'm assuming that it's not very common occurrence, though.
Um,
Are they getting noticed?
no more odd looks than the likes of you would get. Like, something you have to realize is that, like, they, when you, like, kind of awoke them, they got, like, a sort of pale, like, almost clay texture that came over everything except, like, their eyes and hairs and, like, the inside of their mouth. That's kind of like a layer of softer skin.
Oh, so they look...
So they look more human-like.
Okay.
Like, they aren't like the Silver Surfer.
Okay, I was picturing the Silver Surfer, actually.
Me too. I'm gonna call him Norman from now on.
Imagine what halite looks like, but metallic instead of crystalline.
Yes. It's because they're the same race.
Yeah. Well,
Did we have any unfinished business here?
no, I remember our next stop was the Underdark to see if we could find that one man's apprentice or niece or something. I don't remember. He seemed evil.
Wait, we...
The axe is
Hold
cursed.
on. I could have sworn that we found a use for that talisman thing that I pawned off from my crossbow. Did we? Did we find a
No,
potential
not
use
yet.
for it?
I mean,
Not-
you know that it's something of importance to the Drow, and you're about to go to the Underdark, but that's about it.
That's true.
Well, at the very least, we could try and get it back.
We just got off.
And we have a map of the Underdark now. Who has that map?
I thought Yen had it.
Yeah, I think Yen does, because she's the one who checked over the body.
Well, the priest said that he would pay for our stay at the inn. We have an appointment with the council, or whatever it was. So I wouldn't want to leave before that gets sorted out. It might seem more suspicious if we're not here when we're summoned. I would save this whole Underdark business for afterward.
it might help if we could convince. I'm sorry. Is the cleric lady? Is she drow? I can't recall.
No, she was a Triton.
Trident.
So
Okay.
it was 3 cleric women. It was head priestess Brita, who was a drow, a sea elf, who got turned into a drider crab, and then Marlene, who was a Triton.
Have we figured out what deity this town worships? What this church is for?
It's for the water god Kaya.
Okay.
That's what it's supposed to be for.
Whatever you do, when we get summoned to speak at the hearing, or the investigation, or whatever it is, do not mention the Lady of Legs. We don't want to dig ourselves deeper.
It would be some good information to know what that means, though.
Well, then perhaps we should ask around town to see if anybody knows about some strange sects of religious subculture.
Yeah, is there a town heretic or something that we could go talk to?
Yeah, is there a guy on a soapbox just like screaming the end of his time?
Wearing a trash bag and holding a cardboard sign and a tinfoil helmet.
Where's the Jesus is coming guy?
Yeah, he's
Are
like
you ready?
he's like the eclipse.
He's gonna tell you about the rapture.
Imagine
Yeah.
how all of those conspiracy theorists felt today, waking up to nothing happening.
I just
They're
don't
just trying
understand
to
how an eclipse happened like 2 times within the last decade, and they're like, "This is the one. This is the one that'll fuck us up."
They say that with everything. The sun doesn't come up a little, 2 minutes earlier than they think it will, and they're like, "That's it. It's the end of days. Get ready for judgment, fools." Can't be judged if you judge first. Just judge God first.
I will pass judgment on God.
I will pass go and collect $200.
On God, on God. On God, on God. Your outfit, dude? Not it. That's my job.
Yeah, as far as you're aware, like as you were walking through town, you never really saw anyone like that?
Damn it.
I feel like asking questions like that is gonna arouse suspicion. And I think the fact that Lady of Legs equals bad is enough. At least for now. I don't know.
Well, the less we know, the better then. Should they interrogate us about that, we don't know anything. Because we literally don't.
Yeah, but people that claim to know nothing get treated worse than people who spill. I don't know.
Is there a library around or something that could research some of the things that we've seen?
That's a good idea. Can we consult someone that's not a person?
Yeah, do some research.
Not really. The Triton are mostly about oral history and stories. There might be some booksellers, but of course then you'd have to ask them about stuff like that. Like, the only real places you would find written documents are in, probably the church itself, the sort of, vault within the council, and then, people around town probably have things written down in their houses, but,
I had an idea. You go first.
Yeah. Could you refer? I'm recalling something that happened, and I'm not. We were waiting in that priest guy's like office or something, right? And I tried to like open a book. That happened,
Uh,
right?
yes. So you were in like the main hall, and you decided to look at the sort of like pew altar thing that they stand and talk behind. I forget the word right now.
Pulpit.
And
Pulpit.
the pulpit, and you looked at a book that was under there, and you started sort of snooping around it, but you
And
didn't
then I
get
got
caught.
caught.
I had an
We need to
idea.
find that book.
Yeah, that's what I
We
was
need to
gonna
find that
say.
book.
Are there any indigenous critters that kind of go in and out of the aqueduct? I don't know, like mud skippers or something. Some kind of weird amphibious little indigenous critters that just are around.
Go ahead and make me a survival check.
Because if Cressida sees one, that's an 8 altogether. If Cressida sees one just laying around, it would make sense, we could use that as an in. Cressida could sneak into the church and take a peek at that book using her wild shape. And nobody would bat an eye at some little indigenous critter that sort of just already exists around here, just kind of idly walking into the church as he opens the door a crack.
All right. So Simon, you kind of look around, but you're not sure if it's because these don't exist or if you're just like surface brained, but anything you see seems to be something that's either like very terrestrial or like entirely aquatic.
Well, Cressida, do you know any amphibious animals, smaller, that might be able to sneak past a person holding a door open only a few inches?
I was thinking maybe like a newt or something. I don't
Well,
know.
if you want to look like you belong down here, become a crab. Become a hermit crab. Become a regular crab. Crab on in.
Actually,
I
come to
would
think of it,
elect to return to crab.
we have stumbled across an alarming number of crabs recently.
Crab it up.
Yeah, but hermit crabs are slow.
They also have higher protection, so if somebody sees her, because they're smaller, a little bit slower, they're unlikely to be like, ugh, and kick it. They're just gonna be like, oh, bug, you know?
Oh, bug. When you see a bug in your apartment, are you like, oh, bug?
Yeah,
Depends on the kind of bug.
if you see a cockroach, do you step on it or
If
do
I-
you scoop it up?
I scream.
I spray it with rubbing alcohol until it's fucking can't breathe.
I put whatever it's on in a trash bag and take the trash bag outside completely empty. But
Yeah,
the one item,
Fuck out.
I don't. I got fucking trauma with roaches. I don't do roaches.
Oh, I have roach trauma.
Morgan, I have a
No,
question.
we're not doing this right now.
How do you feel about spiders?
I'm alright with them. I mean, I grew up in North Georgia. There was like brown recluses in my house 24/7. They're just little guys.
One more thing.
Ooh.
If they stay away from me, I stay away from them, and they just kind of crawl around.
One more
Do you have
thing.
melded to stone, Catherine?
What?
Do you have what is it, melded to stone or pass through stone? What is it called?
Meld. Hold on, I wrote it down in my journal, but I don't have it prepared right now, but I think it's a level 4.
But it also doesn't let you pass through a stone wall. It just sort of lets you become the wall and move within the wall.
That's what I thought. Let me hold on.
I don't know. I think our best bet is to sneak in and steal it, because
We don't want to steal
Ours
it.
is tiny.
We just want to flip through it. We don't want to steal it. That would be leaving a trail.
I just think becoming a hermit crab and just staying tiny, going in there, taking care of business, and coming back out. I don't think anybody would really pay attention if a hermit crab walked in. I feel like that's the same as like you see, I don't know, a house fly, and you're just like, oh, that's annoying, and you kind of bat it away, and then it just curls up a wall, and you're like, oh well.
Yeah, and if all else fails, I can just turtle it up and suck myself up into the shell. Hermit crabs are like the turtles of the ocean besides sea turtles.
I think you're forgetting if something like goes awry or something, and all of a sudden there's 10 gajillion people trying to stab the smallest hermit crab in the world, just become a giant snake and fucking eat them. Like, you'll be fine.
Can I wild shape, like, while I'm wild shaped? Or do I have to
You can-
revert first?
You can dismiss it and then do it again.
Okay.
And besides,
Can't go from.
you are already very small.
Uh-huh.
Have we
Okay,
agreed
so
upon...
I may have been
Chris-
itching my ear at the time we were kind of... What is the objective here?
The objective is to look at the book that I tried peeking through before the priest caught me.
Ah, gotcha.
And that book exists within the church, and the guy at the door seems a bit apprehensive about letting people in pretty consistently. Aside
Yeah,
from
I
the
think
one
hermit
time.
crabs- I think a hermit crab is the best way to go.
Now, to avoid confusion, you should explicitly tell Cressida where you saw it.
Okay. I mean, was she present? Well, whatever. I
Just-
doubt it's going to be in the same place.
Just
I feel
to-
like
It's just one of those to avoid, would I know where it was? And then, you know.
right. What time of day is it?
It's like 3 p.m.
I'd
Okay.
say now is the perfect time, because if you see a bug at night, you freak out more at a bug at night.
Okay, so the book is likely on the prophet and not like in the dude's office because it's like not nighttime.
While this is happening, I do want to go to those book stalls, but I'm not gonna like specifically ask for, Lady of Legs. I'm just gonna ask for if they have any books on general religions of either underwater or the Underdark.
Okie dokie. Yeah, go and roll just a general d20 for me.
Uh-oh.
I believe in you.
It's cutting off at the bottom. I can't roll it. Return. There we go.
Okie dokie. Yes. So you are looking around for book smellers. And yeah, you just find a kind of lanky old frightened man. He has a beard that goes down to his knees. It's very thin. He's like, how can I help you, mish?
Just looking on if you have any books of, religion, either around these parts, like underwater, or maybe, a little deeper as well.
We have some things, but it's mostly just cursory introductions to the topic.
That's fine. I'm just wanting to get some basic knowledge, wanting to, be considerate of the people around there.
I see. Yeah, and you see him kind of thumb through a set of books before he pulls out a book, and he kind of shows it to you, and it's clearly a book that's in a series, and this is the third of 4 installments, and it seems entirely centered around the god Kaya.
Okay. I'm gonna ask if he's got any more of that series, or if it's just the one.
I only have the one. I doubt that any other entry in this series would sell well, if at all, down here. You
All right.
don't really come to the ocean to learn about the god of fire, as it were.
Yeah, that makes sense. How much for it?
Oh, just a silver piece.
Works for me.
I'm sorry, I disassociated. Are you buying this book to replace it with the one that we're trying to...
No, I'm just trying to do some research on like the Lady of Legs, or see if I can find anything about the religion down here.
Okay, okay.
All right. Yeah. So you go to pay, and Platinum kind of just puts down a silver coin for you.
Thank you. I'm gonna, say thank you and grab the book and start reading it as I'm walking away.
Yeah, and they're like, "Yes, I still wish to repay you. So I'll try to help front the cost of things if I can."
Don't go giving yourself away just so we can get some books, though. We need you around just as much.
No, this isn't part of me. I have at least some cash on foot, and they kind of put up one of their legs and show you their shoes.
Well, I appreciate the help.
Yes, of course. All right. Yeah. So you go and make a investigation check.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll at advantage. I'm sorry.
Just take the first one. I think you rolled the same on both dice anyway.
Well, even better.
All right. So you start perusing the contents of this book. And like he said, it is mostly just information on the god Kaio, what known physical forms they may or may not take. They're usually more effeminate. They're responsible for the oceans, the rains, the waters, and even ice and gas. And it has a general description of their most recent kind of known relation to the other three gods. They're in a good standing with Udon, and not in a very good standing with Quasar or Torkin. But other than that, you never really see any other mentions of information that seems interesting, and especially nothing relating to the Lady of Legs.
Okay. Well, coffee table book then.
I find it extraordinarily difficult to believe that the priest guy wasn't aware of Brida's goings-ons. And
we haven't.
We left the cleric with him too. And I don't even know if she's...
I had a thought about that, actually. I would need some time to come up with the chemicals. But on the chance that we are interrogated further, and information that we didn't know that they had comes to light, I could create a smoke bomb for us to escape through.
I really want to go confront the guy. I feel like he knows things. He
Uh,
absolutely does. He wanted me to stay away from that book. Like he's. I want to question him so bad.
I think it would be smarter to go and maybe check out Frida's house if we are going to have some, like, Cressida turn into a hermit crab and go kind of look around. Maybe send her into the house and see if she can find anything
And see
there
if-
first before we go.
I was
Yeah.
also gonna say
Agreed.
maybe if you do interrogate him, then that would give me some time to hermit crab onto that book.
Hmm.
It just might not put us in good standing before we're going before the council, and if it's probably protected, it's not the smartest to go and make an enemy of ourselves in the middle of a huge town of fish.
Yes, I agree. So maybe we should find some evidence first. We can't just go and be like, you're doing this. We should probably get some sort of solid.
Yeah, I would say let's go check Frida's house.
I agree.
Another thing to consider is it's possible that the elder council or whatever the council is made up of is in cahoots with this. And so if we do bring up something, it might not be beneficial entirely because it might just they already know and they don't care, or that's part of their practices as well as they're with this Lady of Legs or something like that. If they're this close to the Underdark, maybe they have something. They already have some situation in which there's someone who got lost in the Underdark. Maybe it's because of some sort of enslavement, or maybe it's some sort of hostage situation, whatever it is. So we just don't want to come off too harsh with all the information before we know at least where they stand on it.
We could pull an Avengers Endgame, and if they start jumping up our asses, be like, oh, there's no need for that. You lean in real close. All hail the Lady of Legs, and then walk out.
That's true.
I get
To
the
be
feeling that
fair.
maybe he sent us to her to be sacrifices.
Maybe, but if we came back and
He's probably shaking his boots right now if we came back.
that's possible. I just if typically in a lot of states the church is connected to the political sphere, and so I have a feeling that the elders are in on this if he's in on it. If they're all in on this conspiracy or whatever it is, then we're going to be kind of fucked over if we go up to the council and we're like, hey, we found evidence of this happening. They're going to be like, yeah, no shit, we kind of planned that.
Avery, what you just said, maybe it would be a good idea for us to sneak in there now and eavesdrop on any conversations going on between the cleric lady and that head priest over there in the building. If she can carcinogize herself, sneak in, listen to what they're trying to say. Maybe there's something about us. Maybe there really is some sort of conspiracy.
Oh my gosh, Tommy, you know what you should have done?
What?
I don't know if you would have had time. You have the ability to record a message in like a stone or something, right?
Yes.
Like that's something that artificers can do.
Yeah.
It would have been a good idea if we recorded a snippet of Breda saying the things that she was saying before we fought her.
I actually had an idea just now. Is there a hermit crab shell just on the ground anywhere?
If you want to go look for one, it would be a survival check.
Yes.
Wait,
Yes, you do.
Don't we have her necklace? Or am I thinking of something?
No.
different?
I'm doing this for a very specific reason.
Gotcha.
You do actually. You do have her neck. And her map. Okay. Yeah, no, you just You like don't even have to get outside before you see like this like flower pot coral in it, and there's just an empty shell
Splendid.
that's like kind of the color of the floor there.
I am going to imbue that with the recording magic, and I'm going to give it to Cressida. For when she's wild-shaped into a hermit crab, she can use that as her shell, and all she has to do is tap on it and start the recording.
That's fucking genius. The thing is, it can only be like 15 seconds, right?
Let me look through my magical tinkering.
Okay. You utter the message when you bestow this property on the object.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Damn. All right.
Yeah, that was genius, though.
What we could do is, I presume this church has some sort of windows. You could send Ada to go and just chill in a window, vibe out. I know they probably don't have birds down here, but hell, bird's gonna bird. And then that lets Cressida free up to go search Drow Lady home so that we can get some evidence, or all of us get some evidence.
I suppose,
And then
but
she hears something about us, like if she hears one of our names or some description, she could come over and be like,
well,
"Quack quack."
Ada has a very mechanical look to her right now until we get her body back.
I mean, we could just kind of like.
I suppose she's
They
innocuous.
probably at this point. They probably at this point know that you have a mechanical bird. I'm sure they've seen her flying. I'm sure they would not be surprised if she decided to perch up on a window. It doesn't look that suspicious if there's a bird in a window.
Have they?
I mean, not to us, but to them maybe it would be.
Have they seen?
Well-
Have they seen me talking to her?
You're
Like,
There was the
kind of a
when we woke
you're
up.
kind of a crazy scientist. You talk to everyone.
Yes, but the
like
thing is,
who do you
Ada-
mean have they? Like, who is they?
Has anybody around here seen Ada speaking? I know that when I woke up down here in bed, Ada was sitting on my chest, and we had a brief conversation. When I woke up, I don't know if anyone was around to hear Ada talking. I don't know how many conversations I've had with Ada within the confines of Whimsburg.
Like, you have...
My point is, if they know that she's a sentient mechanical bird, they would be more hesitant to speak freely in front of her.
She is so... Like, a metal bird is already kind of a weird thing for anyone to see. Like, there's a reason why you've run into problems with that plan before. A metal bird in a place that has no idea, like, what a bird is. Like, I think that there's seagulls that eat fish sometimes if you go really close to the surface. That's about all they know about birds. So they would see Ada and be like, I have no idea what the fuck this is, and I don't know what to... Like, it becomes the center of conversation.
Okay. If anybody could maybe turn her invisible, she would make a viable spy.
No, nothing.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think I want to risk her being seen or perhaps even captured.
Let's just do the hermit crab thing for now. See how that goes.
I agree.
All right.
Now,
Let's do it.
we should probably figure out a reason to be knocking on the door, so we're not just sitting there with our thumbs up our asses while we're waiting for Cressida to sneak in her crab form.
You could just throw her, like she could be in the shell, and then you just throw her into the window or something.
I assume the windows are probably closed.
There's no, like, air conditioning.
It's underwater. It's gonna be cold.
Is there a gap I can fit through anywhere, like under the door or anything else? Rock on the wall?
So, you know from the general architecture of Windsburg that, like, doors and, like, glassed over windows are pretty rare, but unfortunately they are something that is a feature of these buildings specifically.
Yeah, they're trying to, keep it sanctified.
How about
Yeah,
how
like,
about this?
you can tell that, like, if something bad happened, like, this could even be turned into, like, a shelter for the whole city. So this whole building takes on a lot of purposes. It is very much the heart of the city.
If you want, since I have the book about the god, maybe I could go up and be like, hey, I'm just wanting to do some research and sit and, meditate, especially because we've been through a lot. Do you mind if I come in and just sit in the area of worship just so I can think, reflect, whatever?
That's actually really good, because he will open the door for you, giving Cressida ample time to scuttle on through the door. That way, even if he turns
Just look
you...
on my book.
That way, even if he turns you away, Cressida will have slipped past undetected.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. That's a reason to knock and everything.
Yeah, just be like, I wanna pray. I wanna
I want-
commune with.
I just bought a book on it. I can just say I'm just, I'm wanting to connect with culture.
All right. I'd say let's head over.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
It up.
I did go
All right.
through all the trouble of finding this seashell. You can use this if you would like, Cressida.
Thank you very much.
And I
like
suppose you could view it as a bone of some sort, even though they're mostly silica. Instead of calcium and carbon.
Well, it is the backbone of this creature, so I'll take it. Although it would have been really cool if I put my little crab butt in that little skull that you carved me for my pearl.
But that would be
That would've been
very
cool.
conspicuous.
Yeah, you would look
Very
real fucking weird.
You would look objectively pretty cool, although it will draw a lot of attention.
I guess. I shuffle my little crab butt into the shell
Okie dokie.
and hop on Yen's shoe or whatever
All right.
in her boot.
Let's go to the church, and I suppose we will. Do we want to do this as a group? Go in as a group?
Yeah,
Shall-
it might look a little more suspicious if we do it as a group, because a lot of us have, on multiple occasions, probably made faces when we are faced with a church. Yen's real good at pretending, so I can go in on my own, or if you guys want to come in, I'll lead you
You
in.
should probably.
I think you
You should
should.
probably go in on your own.
I agree.
because
Avery will be a problem.
Now, here's the thing.
I'm gonna go big chill.
If-
Whatever.
If he does let you in, the topics of conversation might shift abruptly, knowing that there's company. So,
Well, I would presume there is like a place for them to speak. Typically in churches, there are places in which you don't go, where the pastor goes on their own. I would assume they have this as well. Typically, they're also soundproof,
right.
which is why there's more issues in our world.
So, here is what I'm proposing. If they turn you away, I think that it's for the better. They're more likely
Well,
to
if they turn her away, Cressida can still get in.
Exactly.
The door just
Yeah.
has to open.
Exactly.
It doesn't really matter either way, because if I'm in there, I'm sure they'll slunk off and Cressida can just follow them. If they do turn me away, then Cressida goes in, and either way, it's fine.
But
Yeah.
now, on the other hand,
Do you think at the confessionals at this church they started out with, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned"?
Anyway,
are you saying that out loud as Cressida?
Yeah.
anyway, so go in. Good to go. You're a crab.
Remember, look for the
I am
book.
crab.
Look for the book where Avery told you it was, but keep an ear out. Make sure they're not plotting behind our backs to throw us under the proverbial bus.
All right, I'm gonna go knock on the door.
All right. So you go knock on the door with a Cressida claw onto your shoe. You see once again, he answers. He is standing in the crack he has created in the door. Are you going to try going now, Cressida, or are you going to see if the situation unfolds?
No.
I'm gonna wait a second.
Okay. I'm gonna
Alright.
kind of kick my shoe to just tap my boot to be like, get the fuck off and go. And I'm gonna talk to him just like I was saying, be like, hey, look, I was hoping to have some meditative, reflective time. I purchased a book on your deities down here, and I was hoping to do some research and just reflection in your holy area. Would that be allowed? Would I be able to go into the worship area and just kind of take some time to connect?
Go and make a persuasion check.
As he answers her, that's when I'm gonna shimmy off.
Okay.
Got a charisma-based character.
Yeah. He, you see him kind of mull it over, and he's like, I suppose even in these dire straits, place of worship without worshippers is really not a place at all. You see him kind of, open the door, for you more so, and you see him kind of, there's like a, weight that can keep the door open, and he kind of keeps it at a level where it's not like doors wide open, but like people could kind of slip in and out if they pleased.
I'm gonna bow a bit and just say thank you and have him, lead where he wants me to go.
Yeah, you see him kind of walk to the back of the room, and he's like, feel free to use the space for worship. I'm afraid with everything that's going on, I cannot take the time to lead you at this moment. So I will leave it to you to do, to worship as you seem fit, as he begins walking over. However, you do see him walk over to the pulpit and begin walking away with a book under his arm.
Fuck.
Me in the asshole.
I mean, that's your ability to follow. Go get him.
I slowly scuttle away
Alright.
in that direction.
Okay. You're actually not that much slower than him, but you do try to follow. Go and give me a stealth check.
Oh. How do I do that with the crab?
So if you are wild-shaped, you use the strength, dex, and con of your wild shape.
And stealth is based off of dex.
Yes, but crabs have a +2 to stealth. They're
They
proficient
sure
in
fucking
stealth.
do. How do I input that as a roll, though, specifically?
It would be...
It would be roll d20 +2, or you can click the d20 button and then the plus button twice.
Okay, that's it.
Wait, so their dex
Yep.
is a flat 10, but their proficiency bonus makes it 2?
Yep.
Oof.
Can I give her one of my luck points?
No.
Okay.
I I'm gonna use a +9.
Okay. So that brings you up to a 16. Yes, you managed to scuttle behind him. The doors leave an opening for you to kind of scuttle in behind him as you end up in what seems to be an office.
Okay. Is he just like chilling around, or is he gonna go sit at his desk?
Yes, you see him go sit at a desk and open up a drawer, and he kind of puts the book in there and slides it in. Uh, and you hear him kind of not shout, but in a louder tone, be like, "Marlene." And you see her come out from the back room. She's like, "Yes, father." And he's like, "Right then. Some of the people who helped you are currently visiting. So do make sure to help them with anything they may need. But unless they call on you, please continue so that we have a written document to tell me what happened." And you kind of see her. Go and give me an insight check, actually.
How would I put that in? Just like normal? Or...
Yeah, that's just your normal.
Okay. Okay.
Let's go. All right. Um. Yeah. You see her begin to talk, and she's like, "Oh, yes. Well, we arrived at the Freya, and then Lady Brita and Sarfiend both found a good spot with which to conduct the hollowing ritual, and I joined them, and then you see the priestman. He's like, "Was it really that bad, Marlene?" Seemed to be stammering a bit. And by this point, even though you're kind of not paying attention to their body language, you see her kind of like get a little fidgety.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of tell that she is not a good liar.
All right. Is he like facing away from the drawer that he put it in?
No, he is very much at that desk. He's not like looking directly at it. But yeah, you see he has a this like very thin looking pen, seems to be made out of like an urchin's spine, and he's using like squid ink, and he's drawing on a sort of darker piece of parchment that seems to kind of want to curl in over itself.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking
As he's
maybe I should
writing.
just like wait. I don't know. But I don't know how long he's gonna just like be chilling there. I can't think of anything that would distract him that I can do right now. Can I am I able to fucking cast spells in this form? I forget.
No.
No. Fuck me. Yeah, I'm just gonna camp out and wait. Does my wild shape pretty much last until 0 HP?
Lasts until 0 HP, or it lasts, I think an amount of hours equal to half your druid level.
Okay, so 3. Alright. We are level 6 now, right? Or are we level 7 now?
You're level 7, but
We're
it's
level
rounded
7.
down regardless,
Rounded
so it's still...
Okay.
Alright,
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna chill. And
so...
wait for him to leave.
Yes. He continues asking her questions that she just kind of stammers through. And as she continues, he does kind of start asking her questions that she does not have great answers to.
Hmm. Okay.
He asks things like, "Oh, when did you leave her? When did the adventurers show up? You seem a bit worse for wear. What happened otherwise?" Uh, and it's like she's using things that happen, but she's piecing them together in like weird different ways. He's like, "Why? Who is this extra person who is behind them? You know, they're very visible." And she's like, I don't know. There was a Zorn. He asks her about Dread Pirate Regis, and he seems like he's like, "There's no way. That sounds absurd. He's been gone for 40 years."
I pipe up. Yes, fucking way. Just kidding.
But yeah, after like about an hour, you hear him be like, "Right then. Thank you. I know. I'm sure it was hard to relive some of that." You see him kind of finalize the paperwork, and he like puts it into an envelope before he stands up, and you see him kind of start to walk away from the desk before he pauses, and he opens up the drawer again, and he picks up the book, and you hear him cast a spell before he puts it back in the drawer. And then he just kind of like sighs as he looks at some of the decorations and stuff on the wall. And he's like, "This office will be much more empty without you, Brita." And he kind of looks to Marlene, and he's like, "Now then, child, go get some rest. We shall put this behind us." As you see him walk out of the office.
Well, fuck me. Okay, well, is she still there, or did she sort of leave too?
You see, it looks like she's taking a moment to compose herself after he left. She probably won't stick around too much longer.
Okay, I'm gonna wait till she's totally gone and the coast is absolutely clear.
Alrighty. Yeah, she kind of composes herself and stands up and eventually leaves the room as well.
Okay. I pop out of my shell. I stretch my little crab leggies. I yawn, because that took fucking forever. And I'm gonna try my best to open up that drawer and see if I can open that book.
Uh, okay. You are not articulate enough as a crab to be able to
Okay, I was
open a
wondering.
heavy wood drawer.
Okay. Alright, I'll revert then.
Alright. You are back in your Fey form. So you
Okay.
go over to the drawer. It takes a bit of doing, but you do manage to slide it open, and the book is inside. It's kind of like on just some piles of like kind of old dusty paper that seem like they're just empty papyrus.
Okay. I'm gonna try and open the book and leave it in the drawer while I do.
You try to open the book, but it is as if the pages are sealed shut.
Golly. Well, shit. I'll look through the other papers that are in that drawer.
Uh, yeah, you kind of look through them, but they are all just empty papyrus still.
Okay. Does the desk have any other drawers or compartments?
Yes, it does.
I will check them all.
Alrighty, go and make an investigation check. Okay, you begin looking through the drawers. You see there's certain things. You see there's like a couple bottles of squid ink. There's some more of those like spines off of like sea urchins that they use as pens. Some like paperwork that is clearly like partially filled but needs like signatures, and it's currently empty. And then something that does catch your interest is there is these two sort of glass like containers, like they're almost like petri dishes, and one is mostly empty, while the other seems to have a golden looking dust in it.
Okay. How big are these dishes? Just like the basic size of petri dishes?
Yeah, about that size.
Okay. How busy is the building?
Like the church right now, uh, it's literally just like you, the two clergy who don't know you're there, Yen, and then like two other people have kind of walked in seeing that the church is open now.
Okay.
But
Okay. I am going to very carefully open one of open the gold dust dish.
mhm.
Being very careful not to touch the dust myself, and sprinkle just a tiny bit on the book. Just to see if that does anything.
Not much really seems to happen. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you're doing this, and you realize that this is not what would dispel it, but rather, this is probably what created it, as you realize that this book has had an arcane lock spell casted on it. That spell requiring 25 GP of gold dust to cast, which is consumed upon casting. So you understand that this book currently has the arcane lock spell on it, and that empty dish was used as the material components for the spell that's currently on the book.
Okay. Understood. All right. I want to take a look around the room. Look at all the walls. Look for any kind of inkling or clue that might hint me as to what the solution is here to open that book.
Okay. Go and give me an investigation check.
Okay.
All right, awesome. You look around the room, and it's only now that you are even realizing that, like, this room has, like, two entries slash exits, like one that goes out in the main hall, and then another one that seems to go behind the office, presumably to some sort of living quarters.
Okay. I am going to go to the living quarters. We're gonna peek in first just to make sure no one's in there.
All
If
right.
there's a keyhole, I'd like to peek through that. If not, I'll just crack the door.
So you try to go over to the door, but it is also locked.
Okay. Is there like a crack underneath?
There is one, yes.
Okay. Can I peek underneath the door?
You will be able to peek under it, but you, as your Fey form, are too big to slip under.
Okay. Alright, I'll just take a peek then.
All right, go and give me a perception check. Okay. You look inside. You can tell based on like the sort of a little bit more luxury that the room clearly has, as well as the overall design, that this was probably the head priestess's room. You know, you see like candles and incense sticks, which have long since either been burned through or never been lit at all. You see there is like a comfy looking bed with those sort of like sort of dark spider silk sheets and covers, as well as the like bed curtains that fancy bitches have that are around the bed.
Yeah.
And there's like a place to eat and just some various wardrobes and other things throughout the room.
Okay.
And then there is a window, but the curtains are drawn, made of that same sort of dark spider silk.
Okay. Right. Um. I don't think there's much else I can do. One last thing. I would like to, I guess, make an investigation to see if there are any secret compartments in the floor or in the walls or something like that. Any kind of latches or triggers.
Yeah, go and make another investigation check. Alrighty. You take the time to scrupulously over the floorboards and walls, but it does not seem as if there is any real secret compartments or anything.
Okay. Alright, well, I don't think there's much else I can do here. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and just, because I don't want to use my last wild shape if I can help it. But since the church is so, like, it's not too busy, I'm going to do my best to just, like, nonchalantly sneak out of the room. Just, like, creep around the corner, I guess, and nonchalantly walk away back toward Yen.
Alright, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Okay.
Alrighty. you manage to open the door slowly and carefully and let out and close it without making too much noise. You do hear some footsteps coming from down the hall, so you kind of dart off back into the main area, and you just kind of join up with Yen, who is in, excessive prayer as she's leaned halfway back in one of the pews, reading the book using like one hand and like resting her arm on the back of the pew.
I'm gonna fly up to her and say, "So have you found peace yet?"
I'm just gonna start singing worship songs. Like, I'm gonna start speaking in fucking tongues, man. I'm going all out.
Under the sea, but in Latin.
Under the sea, that's a statement. Yeah, start talking in a written language. That's it. Well, I guess if you're gonna be all done, I'll get up and, bow to whatever central area they have and start walking out.
Okay. So yes, you do. And
Real
as
quick, I'm sorry, really quickly before we walk out, I just want to like hide in her coat pocket or some way that I can be concealed because they did not see me coming in.
Okay. And you find a place on Yennefer's person she's willing to let you hide out on, and do so.
Please.
Sounds good.
Alright, let's find our friends so I can relay the news.
Yes, Simon, Kratos, and Avery. What were you all up to in about an hour and a half that this was going on for?
Not really a whole lot of anything. Kind of just waiting around for it to end, honestly.
Grunting.
Yeah.
Simon is just anxious, and after having been bamboozled again, is sort of less trusting of these people and was sitting there sort of anxiously.
I was just hanging out with Simon, making sure he didn't lose his fucking mind. So what did we learn?
We didn't learn anything. We learned that he keeps an arcane lock spell on that book when it's not on his person. We also learned that they know about the ritual that, happened. And it sounded like they orchestrated it.
So I was right.
Yep.
No, he said the ritual relating to the hollowing spell.
Oh.
Which was supposed to be the spell that purified the ship.
Yes.
So they didn't know about the crazy Drider shit.
At least not that they let on.
Well, if they're speaking candidly in private,
Yen was in the building. Like, I feel like they're gonna be careful.
I don't know, man. Occam's razor.
What did you say?
Occam's razor. The most simple solution is the most likely one.
I looked all around that room for ways to undo the spell in that book, and I could not come up with anything. All I know is that he uses a golden dust to seal the spell.
Well, if we had anybody with dispel magic at an appropriate level, we could end the enchantment on the book.
Does knock work on arcane locks or just mundane locks?
I believe.
Knock suppresses it for 10 minutes.
Okay. Do we have anybody that has knock?
Nope.
Hold on. Let me look through my.
Knock is. I hear you flipping through your pages, Catherine. Knock is definitely not a druid spell.
Okay.
Pretty sure
What
it's
level spell is it? Because I have access to a 4th level spell, and I remember picking up
It's like
something.
a second level spell.
I don't have that.
I'm pretty sure it's a wizard spell.
I think it's also a sorcerer spell. Check.
Those pretty much go hand in hand for the most part. There's very few that are only one or the other.
There's definitely some wizard onlys, but yeah, bard, sorcerer, and wizard is not. But arcane lock, for example, is wizard only.
So we know we're dealing with a wizard. I would also say it would be good for us to probably still go and check out Frida's house. Maybe she has something in particular that is telling of what went down.
Now, out
That's a
of
good
an,
idea.
out of an
Oh.
abundance of caution, maybe we should have a reason in case we get caught. Having
Well, that's
Simon.
why we send in, hear me out, a hermit crab. We have this
Simon.
yes, Avery.
wonderful.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. I'm just shitting.
Do you think, Simon, that you could come up with sort of a mimic of that golden dust?
Well, I'm not an alchemist, unfortunately, or else maybe I could. But it occurs to me that we're living in a Triton community. We wouldn't even need a reason to go snooping through breeders' things. To them, going into somebody's house and having some food and borrowing their pots and pans is as commonplace as breathing is to us. If somebody saw us walking into Breeder's house, they wouldn't even question it. It's culturally accepted here.
Yeah, but she wasn't kind of a part of that culture. She's a drow. There's a difference there. She might have wanted some amount of privacy.
Perhaps. I'm just saying that maybe it wouldn't look too suspicious to Triton, considering their culture.
Yeah, but if they know that she likes her privacy and we go in, they might be like, huh, that's a little weird. What are you doing?
Well,
Parkouring!
to answer your question, Avery, no, unfortunately, I cannot produce gold.
No, I don't mean producing gold. I mean like taking gold and like engineering or like essentially making a second key to the book is what I'm saying.
An interesting proposal. Let me see. Maybe can I roll like an Arcana check to see if that's something I can even conceive of doing?
Yeah. Okay.
At the very least, I suppose I could grind down a single gold coin into a fine powder.
And then imbue it with magic properties.
I don't know. God hasn't spoken to me yet.
Okay.
God
So
hasn't spoken to me yet.
you know a lot about the arcane lock spell. You've looked into it for your own sort of like time when you were kind of bumming it on your own. And you've even casted it through a couple spell scrolls you've had in the past. You know that when you make it, you can set a password that, when spoken within 5 feet of the object, it suppresses the spell. You also know that the Arcane Lock spell is not perfect. It just makes it harder to break or force open whatever it is. So you are only dealing with a book, so it probably wouldn't be too excessively difficult for, like, Kratos to pry open if he got his hands on it, for example.
Would
As for the gold dust stuff, like, you can easily just get a gold piece and file it down over the course of, like, I don't know, hours. However much you want to make is up to you. You're also ruining the gold piece and just turning it into gold dust. But having the gold dust is not like... You can't, like, make an anti-venom for a spell that way.
okay.
Put it on a stake and sell it for $1,000. They do that.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's necessarily a way to non-forcefully circumvent the lock. However, arcane lock, especially when it comes to smaller material objects, like a small lockbox, or in this case a book, it wouldn't be too difficult to just force it open. Now that does leave potential contingencies in place, like maybe he had put an alarm spell on the book. And we don't have anybody here who can recast Arcane Lock on the book with the password he had put in place. So, if we want into that book, we have to figure out what the password is so that we can get in and get out unnoticed, or simply steal it and force it open. Fuck the consequences, really.
Detect thoughts, maybe?
Not a bad idea. But really, it would only detect surface thoughts, so you would have to draw his attention to maybe the idea of a password in general. He would know he would know instantly if you're pressing deeper for specific knowledge.
And to be fair, we would still have to deal with the issue of putting the lock back on. Presuming we want to do that. Make it look inconspicuous.
I really hope that this isn't some sort of wild goose chase or red herring.
That's why I say we go and check the lady who caused the damage. They seem to not know anything that we know right now. So I feel like it kind of makes more sense to go and check out the one that attacked us rather than the people who have seemed generally nice to us.
We should probably find out where she lived to begin with.
We've been to her house.
Oh, that's right. Alright. Well, plan A, I suppose, is snoop around the dead woman's house. And plan B is to steal the mysterious book from the church.
We're going estate shopping. Let's go.
I don't know what you mean by you've been in her house.
Haven't we been to her house before?
Well, her house is church. Like, Cressida was behind a door to where her living chambers were, so...
I thought it was a separate thing. Oh.
No.
Did she we can get her back in and just explore more. Is the door still cracked open?
You have no idea.
Well, I meant to the church.
Oh, yeah.
There's at least a way in. To the church.
I suppose... are any of you proficient with thieves' tools?
You would think Avery would be, but she's not.
I think
What is her background?
Nah.
Urchin.
I
Urchin has it built in.
It does? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'm proficient.
okay, cool.
Oh, the problem was I don't own any thieves' tools. That was something I wanted to
Oh,
do while I
right.
was in town.
Actually, no need for that.
Yeah. Can we
I
say that
I
I
have
spent my
thieves.
time?
I have thieves' tools that I can just give you.
You've had it this whole time. We needed it.
Yes.
We needed it on the ship, and you were like, we didn't have any.
Listen, I just looked at my inventory.
Okay, well, I
And
want my
they're
own
there.
pair, and they can't be too expensive. Can we say that while Cressida was hermit crabbing around, I went to go purchase a set of thieves' tools?
Sure. Give me a
How
moment.
much would that have been? Like a couple silver, or
400 gold pieces.
oh my god!
Get it. You have to remove Platinum's left arm for it.
Exactly how much you have, plus 1.
Yep, that's it. You need 2 kidneys and half a liver.
On the bright
Huh.
side, Simon is just under 1/10 of the way towards his goal, financially speaking.
You gotta fucking
I
GoFund me
wish.
for this bitch.
Huh?
You gotta fucking GoFund me for him.
Simon's primary goal is to pay for either a wish spell or a true resurrection to give his sister's soul a flesh body again. Because
So
obviously,
he has a GoFundMe.
well, not necessarily. He's more go fund myself.
Go
That's called
fund
a
yourself.
Yeah.
That's literally the purpose of a GoFundMe.
No. See, Simon goes and does things for money. Also steals it from pirate ship vaults.
25 gold? Wow, that's pretty expensive.
Yeah. Sorry, people were talking.
I'll pay for it.
Also, just so you know, you also have proficiency in disguise kit.
How much is a disguise kit as well?
I got one of them.
Tinker's tools. It's not on this list, but
Yeah,
I
it's
am
not on my list
definitely-
either. I'm just gonna say it's probably about as much as thieves' tools.
Alright.
Okay. Let's see if you can actually find somebody who's selling thieves' tools. Go and roll a d20
Okay.
for me.
Roll what? What'd you say?
D20.
Okay.
I do just want to bring attention to the time as well.
Oh, yes. 2. Alright. You start walking around looking for some shady dealers, but you kind of look dejected as you're unable to find some. And Platinum's like, are you looking for something?
Yes, I would like to procure a set of thieves' tools as well as a disguise kit if possible.
They're like, right. Give me a moment. And you see them kind of walk to a couple different bazaars until eventually with one they kind of lean over and pull out of kind of like their sleeve this like emblem of some kind. You immediately see the vendor kind of like look a little shocked before they return to the back room and then come back out with this like leather parcel wrapped up, and Platinum walks back over to you and hands it to you. And they're like, free of charge.
Okay.
Whoa! How did you do that? What did you do?
I have certain pulls afforded to me. As I said, I'm part of a rival guild to the one which you are seeking. It's a mercantile guild, so
Huh,
most
well,
merchants who are operating outside of them, if they do see a ambassador, as it were, to them, they'll do whatever they can to get in good graces.
oh, okay.
This
Well-
little fucker's proven useful.
I know. I'm like, you have my thanks, and then I open the parcel to see exactly what's inside.
Yeah, you look inside and you see a set of thieves' tools, as well as a disguise kit. Although they do smell a little briny.
I like this platinum guy. We got to do whatever it takes to keep him around.
Like, yes, anything I can do as thanks. I don't have much material on me, but I do have the sway I hold, as it were.
Well, it is appreciated, and as long as you're with us, you have our protection as well.
Wonderful. Alright, you have your set of thieves' tools.
Great. What did we want them for? I don't remember. Yen? Do you remember?
Don't look at not a fucking clue, sis.
What did we bring this up for?
You were trying to get into Priestess Brida's room.
Oh, yeah. But then, yeah. That's gonna be... Here's something. Can I, like... wait around? Hold on. Does the priest live in the church?
Any of the clergy do live in the church, yes.
Okay. Because what I was thinking is maybe I could stake out, wait for him to leave, sneak in, pick the lock, snoop around. Surely he has to eat and drink and stuff, right? Like,
I will note that, or actually, go and give me a perception check.
okay. Perception. I can't see my rolls because of the stupid Chromebook.
You got a 3. Okay. So yeah, you take the time to return to your allies, kind of loitering around near some of the bazaar stands that were just outside of the church.
Okay, I approach and tell them what Platinum and I just did and how Platinum is proving to be a very useful ally.
Alrighty. Yes, Cressida relays that she was not able to open the book. Simon says that he thinks it's an arcane lock spell, and there's just about or the options you have to open it beyond just dispelling the magic that it has, as well as Cressida tells you that Priestess Brida's room was beyond the office where the book was being held. And so now everybody should be up to speed with one another.
Yes. So what are we thinking, guys? Should we leave this be for now and go to the Underdark, or do you think it's worth
Well, we can't just
snooping
leave.
around for more?
We can't just leave.
Yeah.
They
We gotta stay.
There's a formal inquest as to what exactly happened at the shipwreck. And if we're gone and they come looking for us to question us, it would be suspicious that we're not around.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
How
we
about
don't
this?
have to stay.
We could use this as another opportunity to go into the church. Ask, hey, when is this hearing? When is this whatever it was?
Yeah,
When did you
when
need
can we
us?
get the
What time?
fuck
What
outta here?
day? Or do we have time to go out and about? Perhaps make that trip to the Underdark?
Good idea.
I will say
Like,
they might start asking questions or feel like we're a little annoying if we keep bugging them.
Yeah, well, if we feign compliance by, like, not just leaving and by asking, like, if we should stay or not, I think that's a show of good faith.
All right. Well, I suppose I, with my chocolatey smooth voice, will lead the charge in terms of that. Unless our charismatic friend here would rather do it in my stead.
I mean, they already like me a little more, I guess.
All right. So you walk back in. There's a few people around, but you don't see the head clergyman himself.
Really?
Yes.
Give me 1 second. Let's see something, because I think at the end of your next turn you have the invisible condition, but you have to hit something with the crossbow first. Okay, well, I was just looking because I have a means of being invisible, but
And you also have a means of being in the astral plane for like 6 seconds.
oh, the new thing I got at level 7. Yeah, let me Google that real quick.
I'm sorry, what?
I have like something called Aether Walk that lets me
Exactly.
blink out of existence temporarily.
That's cool.
But I need to read it so I know what it actually fucking does.
Do you think Warlock would be ostensibly a pretty cool class to multi-class into Artificer with? Because Simon already sort of worships or holds in a high regard, at the very least, an Archfey, which is a pact type for Warlocks. I was just thinking,
Yeah.
flavor-wise, it might be neat, but mechanically, it might be kind of dumb, like me with Ilma and Wild Magic, and how it does not synergize with Druid at all.
Yeah, Artificer is already kind of stringing themselves thin with their stats, and then you act like needing charisma in there. Like, do you even have 13 in charisma?
No.
So you couldn't even multi-class into a warlock.
Meeper.
Yeah.
It says that this feature lasts for a number of rounds equal to your Hemocraft modifier. So that would be 6 seconds times 6, because I have a d6.
No, that's your Hemocraft die. Your Hemocraft modifier is your choice between intelligence or wisdom, and I think you've chosen intelligence.
Right. And I don't have my character sheet on my person at the moment. Well, I wonder if it's...
I mean, I can just check your... You have a
Yeah.
18 intelligence, so you would have... Was it 1 plus, or just total of your...
Total.
Okay.
Equal to your Hemocraft modifier.
So you would have 24 seconds with which you could astral walk.
Okay. Judging by the geography of the... or the architecture, I guess... I don't know how to, like, ask this without being, like, metagamey, but, like... Could
Do you
I
think you could get there in
reasonably...
time?
Yeah, could I reasonably get there in time?
Let's take a peek. Yeah, you definitely can. You're nimble enough. 24 seconds is a long time, especially if you are dashing. But you will probably be a little winded, so you might have trouble hiding from people if you get out of it and there's people around you.
Okay.
But, like, I mean, hell, even like the way this is laid out, it's kind of like a circular room, and then like most of the other rooms are nearby. So like you could aether walk and like walk through one of these back walls and just be in the room.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to do that.
Okay. Which room are you trying to get into?
Breda's thing.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll a D6 for me.
Okay. Okay, my rolls aren't working, so you have to tell me what I got.
You got a 5, so you that's good enough. You use your Aether Walk ability. You go through the wall which you think will lead to Brita's chambers, and you pop out, and you kind of see in the astral plane that you are in the correct spot. How you will get out afterwards is something you'll have to figure out, but you are here. And then the rest of you, as you see Avery kind of say, "I'm going ghost," and walk through the wall. It's at that moment that you see the head priest. He returns from delivering the paperwork to the council, and he's like, "Ah, yes. Hello again. What are you all doing here?"
We had a
And
question.
that is where we'll end the session.
Oh, okay.
Oh man. Okay.
A nice little cliffhanger,
Next time.
though.
Yeah.
Next time though, definitely like keep him fucking distracted by asking him.
That was the plan. That's the plan, 100%.